Hey crafty friends, Amanda here with Crafting with Amanda, and welcome to day 5 of series 11 of Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. Today's sketch is from the Scrapbooking Sisters, and it's Katie Scott. So here you can see I'm flipping through some of the papers from the Close to My Heart Life's a Hoot paper, and I have a photo from a wedding that I went to with my husband, and everybody's in different colors. This is like the day after the wedding, and so we had a brunch and it was a lot of fun, but like I said, everybody was in different colors, so I really struggled with what papers to find. And I thought, you know, daisies, it's a flower I can add, it's bright, it's kind of a neutral color. The Life's a Hoot paper was pulling in some of the blue jean feel that people were wearing along with some of the other colors. So I'm going to put a sketch here in the corner because this smile, today is the best day ever. I just thought that worked, you know, really well for celebrating marriage. So I just am starting with a white daisy piece of cardstock, and here is my mistake. I'm not even thinking. We had so much going on. In fact, later you'll see my grandniece helps me with the finishing touches of putting some of the stickers down on this. So instead of doing this from corner to corner and then doing my wedges with the stencil, I went ahead and marked from the 6-inch mark to the 6-inch mark at the bottom. And then I'm doing my wedges, and I think this turns out beautifully. I think the diagonal is actually probably a better visual thing, but I didn't even know that I had done it differently until I was editing this video, so it's just kind of funny. So here I'm going to start with Lagoon ink, excuse me, and I'm starting with the butterfly stencils from the core book from Close to My Heart. All of my supplies and things that I use, I will put in a video in the description of below the video, so that if you are wanting to do your own YouTube channel, you want to know what software I use, what supplies, all of that will be listed under the video. And then anything from Close to My Heart that's available, I am a maker, and so I'd be happy to help you with those orders or answer any questions you have. There's also information for connecting with me on Facebook or just reaching out and sending me an email. So I'm just taking my inspiration of colors from the colors that are in the Life's a Hoot paper. So I started with Lagoon, and then I believe I did Flamingo next, and now I am doing the Lemonade. And with stencils, you have to clean it every time, otherwise you get some crossover. So that's why I'm cutting between each of the triangles that I'm applying here. I really thought about doing it with paper, but I love these butterfly stencils. I've been trying to use them on a layout for months now. I bought this probably back in October, and I was really excited. I've used it on cards front, but I really wanted to use it on a layout. So I thought that taking this sketch, instead of worrying about all the different papers, I would just do it with butterflies. To me, again, a butterfly, it's a new beginning, it's a whole new life. That and weddings just go together. So again, taking colors from the Life's a Hoot, there's Periwinkle, Sapphire, Lagoon, Flamingo, Grape, Nectarine, and then the Lemonade. And it's funny, the Periwinkle, when I first started to apply the ink through the stencil, I wasn't getting anything, and so I really pushed the brush down hard on the ink pad, and then it came out really super dark. So the Periwinkle is right next to the Sapphire, and because I did such a lighter tone with the Sapphire ink, they almost look the same. They're not right next to each other, but you can see here at the end that they almost have like the same concentration or saturation of color, and that's just because I didn't blot onto the stencil first when I was using my blender brush. I thought that the wedges needed more definition, so after I matted the photo with the Sapphire cardstock, I went ahead and just cut, they're not even 1/8 of an inch strips out of that Sapphire cardstock, and you can see here that I'm trying to decide if I like what's going to happen, and I didn't meet my center of the wedges exactly, and I knew that that would be okay because the photo was going to be there. So it's one of those things that I decided not to get obsessive about it because I was just going to camouflage that where they all meet. And I'm auditioning how that's going to look, and later I'll glue that all down and you'll see that. So now I am taking that smile, it's the best day ever, and this is going to be my title, and it's also going to represent the other photo from the sketch. And I wanted to show you one of the benefits of a MISTI is I have a non-stick pad. It kind of has a slight tack to it. So when I put my cardstock in there, it stays right in place. So I was able to ink that up twice and make a really nice solid imprint. And then I'm going to show you how I will cut that title out, plus a frame for that title to sit on. Close to My Heart has asked me not to use their stamped images in showing you this, so I just went online and got a Coca-Cola image. Because I'm using this as a tutorial, all images are free to use for instructional purposes, and it's also for personal use. And besides that, Coca-Cola doesn't have a trademark license. If you want to do something with Coca-Cola, you just have to, or a fee, you just have to send them what you're doing, and normally you get approved. So the first thing that I do is go ahead with direct cut, scan it into the machine, and then I'll close down the frame of what I want the machine to focus on for cutting out. And then after that, I go and make sure that I don't have any extra cuts. So right now there's one little bobble on there, so I delete that, and now it just has the oval from the Coca-Cola logo. I'm not going to do it now, but I was showing you if you do an outline edge, you can get a frame around your stamped image similar to what you would in a thin cut or die. For me, I think the 0.08 is probably the closest to what a die would leave. Excuse me. I don't like that frame. I've always, it's funny, not liked it. It's one of the reasons why I've not been a big user of dies, but now that I have the scan and cut, I can cut it with that 0 tolerance, and it cuts right on the outside edge. So now I'm just going to load in another piece of paper here, and I'm going to change my outline to 0.4, and so now it's going to cut that exact oval again, but it's going to be a little bit bigger. I decided after I cut this that the 0.04 was a little too small for me. So when we get to my final product, you'll see that I have the smile title is cut out with the 0 tolerance. And then I cut out of the ballerina, or maybe it's even the flamingo ink or cardstock, excuse me, a 0.08 frame. So here you can see that 0.4, and now I have the 0.08 frame, and you can see how much edge that gives right around that title plaque, I guess I'll call it. So now I've glued everything down, and I went back to my old stamp sets, and this is an old one. It's actually from the art booking bundle, and it's this great like torn edge notebook paper, and the stamp and everything comes with it. So I have some, when I go to cut them out on my Cricut, I normally cut out 2 or 3 sheets of them, so I think I end up with, there's 9 of them on one sheet of cardstock. There might be 12, I don't remember. And I'll just cut all those out blank, so then I can stamp them later if I want to match the colors of my project. And in this particular case, I did stamp it with the sapphire ink. And here I'm just using the stickers from the Life's a Hoot sticker sheet, and I'm going to fill in some gold with some flower bouquets and really kind of follow what Katie Scott did in her sketch, other than I didn't go from diagonal to, diagonal edge to diagonal edge or corner to corner. I went up and down. And now here soon, I'm looking at all these words. You'll get to see my little grandniece's arm as she was asking what I was doing. Her mom is not a scrapbooker yet. And we're trying to decide where to put it. And she was thinking that it would be pretty on the flower bouquet. And then she's like, oh, well, maybe up in there. And she hasn't learned yet that you don't want to have things floating. So I said, well, what about over here? And she liked that. And then she did ask that I include the butterfly. So of course we did that too. So here's the close-up of my layout. Be sure to go under the video description and check out the playlist for everybody that's playing along this month in the 30 days of sketches. I'm typically doing 3 a week. Sundays, Tuesdays, Fridays are my days typically, but that can vary. There's how you can connect with me on social media. And if you want to help out any of us on YouTube, be sure to like our videos. That helps a lot. Have a great day. Blessings.